more specifically, Pine Rest Christian Mental Health Services. Here joining us is Scott Smith. Good morning, Scott. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. My pleasure.
All right, now you have a lot of letters after your name. Can you kind of explain what you are?
Sure. I'm a licensed professional counselor, licensed in Michigan and Illinois, and the CAADC is a certified advanced alcohol and drug counselor. So it's another 3-year program, a few thousand hours, and a test to get that certification.
Would you say that you specialize, though, in addiction treatment?
That is one of the areas that I focus on. My career has been pretty varied, and I've done a lot of things, but currently that's one of my primary focuses.
And if you had to explain to folks out there what Pine Rest does or is, what would you say?
We are in Traverse City. We have a clinic that does quite a bit of things. We have psychiatric services, we have psychological services, we also have clinical services in the sense of regular mental health, just a broad variety of things. As a whole, Pine Rest is a very large organization, one of the largest freestanding mental health providers in the country. In Grand Rapids, our major area, we have residential, adolescent treatment facilities for substance abuse and mental health, as well as adult and outpatient clinics.
And one of the new things that you have spearheaded here at Pine Rest includes a federal grant for 3 years, almost $1 million, to help certain counties and those people who live in those counties with addiction and alcohol problems. Is that pretty correct?
Yes.
All right. Explain what that means.
Well, we know that in northern Michigan, there's not a lot of access to services, especially in the rural areas. And Pine Rest wrote for a grant from SAMHSA, the Substance Abuse Mental Health Services Administration, and it is a 3-year grant. Our primary focus is hitting rural areas through video counseling, telemental health. To begin with, we're focusing on Manistee, Benzie, Kalkaska, and Leelanau counties. My job as the clinician is to work with the recovery coaches that we're hiring in those counties, and also to do the substance abuse and co-occurring, which is a substance abuse and a mental health, anxiety, depression, bipolar diagnosis. Our hope is that we'll initially have local access points. Currently we're partnering with Northwestern Michigan Services in Bear Lake. Because of the problem with wireless and high-speed internet up here, we're going to do that, have a central area where people can come that's close to them. Ultimately, we're hoping to have laptops or iPads or tablets, or people can use their own computer. I'll be pretty much in this room here in Traverse City. The people will be in other areas on their device, and we'll be running groups via video. Might be 10 or 15 people from different counties, and we'll do the substance abuse and the co-occurring treatments.
And the basis of it basically is because certain counties in the state are underserved, and Michigan itself underserved when it comes to mental health services, but also it's tough when you're in recovery to be able to get to, say, Traverse City or get where you have to be going and keep a job and do all the things you're supposed to be doing.
Absolutely. A lot of people in recovery, especially if they're in the legal system, don't have a license, and so they can't drive from Northport or from Manistee to Traverse City or further south to get treatment. Some people are just, it's far away, lousy weather, the roads are iced over, maybe they're not in the legal system, but they just have an hour and a half that they could use for the group and not 3 hours for a round trip, hour and a half, 2 hours one way. Or like I said, the weather's bad, they can just log in, get the same treatment services, but do it in a more convenient way.
All right, so if someone sees what we're doing here, how can they get in touch with Pine Rest and become part of this program?
They can contact, I don't have the number with me.
Right. But
they can contact
Rest.
Pine Rest here in Traverse City or the Grand Rapids number. We hope to do the assessment eventually over the internet as well. We do have recovery coaches that are hired in those counties to be the hands and feet that will go out, physically make contact, help people through their recovery, do some paperwork that has to be done in person, but the assessment, treatment planning can all be done via the internet.
And I believe you had explained to me that Michigan, against the national average, is not on par with access to help, and these counties specifically are even below the Michigan average, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
For medical and mental health, substance abuse, and again, those counties are below. And then on top of that, the access, even in Leelanau County and the other counties that we're serving, to internet means it's going to be a challenge. That's part of the beauty of this program, is that we we run it, we see what works, we see what doesn't work, we meet on a national level with other grantees and give our information to say this is something that you guys can use in the future. If you're in a low bandwidth area, you can use a 3G system, or you can use a internet system, or just whatever works and what doesn't work, so that we can help other people access services as well.
Scott, thank you very much.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
In Traverse City for My News 26, I'm Vic McCarty.